I'm Rida Chebet Karim. Welcome on board. President William Ruto has divulged his plan that will see mama mbogas and border riders trade at the Nairobi Stock Exchange (NSE) and subsequently enhance their ability to save. Speaking during the launch of the NSE marketplace in Nairobi, the head of state underscored the importance of the stock market to his proclaimed ambition of making Kenya a self-reliant nation. Ruto also reiterated the commitment of his administration to leverage the stock exchange market to better the lives of Kenyans. Millicent Luamba with more.
President William Ruto on Tuesday, October 11th, asked two chief executive officers, CEOs, to refund their salaries for failing to perform their duties as assigned by the government. During the launch of the Nairobi Securities Exchange (NSE) marketplace at the Exchange Building in Westlands, Ruto reprimanded the two senior officials for failing to enable companies to list to online trading. He explained that the two CEOs were at the helm of the organization for 5 years and 13 years respectively, yet no proper progress was made to allow more firms to enlist in NSE. The head of state hinted at the revision of the investment laws to allow more companies to trade on NSE.
In order for us to do this, the government is embarking on review of the existing privatization law with a view to repealing it or replacing it with a legal and less inhibiting and more facilitative policy framework to steward rapid privatization processes. Even as we seek to strengthen and deepen the capital markets.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces insisted that the law exists to serve, and if not serving, there must be changes. He went on to say that if they cannot change, they repeal so that they give themselves the latitude to do the right thing. He, however, assured the two CEOs that his government was ready to provide leadership to help the companies execute their mandate as expected.
I have said and made a commitment, and I have asked the ministry concerned that between 5 and 10 public enterprises that are mature should be listed in the next 12 months. I expect that the private sector will work with the capital markets so that we can also have companies from the private sector listing in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. My government is prepared to work with companies that want to list in the stock exchange to overcome some of the challenges that you may have that are denying you the opportunity to list in the stock exchange.
Ruto promised to put together a legal infrastructure to help the top officials perform their functions without impediments.
Additionally, my administration has set out its commitment to promote the public-private partnership framework as yet another preferred mode of development financing, which we intend to rely on in mobilizing necessary funding for investment in diverse sectors, including roads, housing, water, energy, ICT, and agriculture. This renewed commitment to the growth of capital markets, inbuilt with well-developed modalities that provide clear and effective exit mechanisms for our public-private partnership investors, should serve as the highest assurance from my administration to investors that their investments are safe and that their investment decisions in Kenya are made in a predictable, coherent, and stable environment.
He also assured NSE stakeholders that Trade Cabinet Secretary nominee Moses Kuria and his Treasury counterpart Njuguna Ndung'u will work to spearhead their operations.
As part of the strategic configuration of our way forward, my administration intends to not only focus on strengthening and deepening our capital markets to become an alternative source of development capital, but also an alternative form of investment to most Kenyans. This is why we have established for the first time a State Department for Investment Promotion under a principal secretary in the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. To affirm this resolve, my administration will revitalize the capital markets by embarking on privatization of state-owned enterprises where divestiture is overdue and strategic, as well as the introduction of such innovative products as a domestic dollar-denominated bond.
He also said that the government will list between 6 and 10 state corporations on the NSE within the first year of his administration. Additionally, Ruto hinted at empowering border operations, vegetable vendors and other entrepreneurs to start trading on NSE.
We are cognizant of the need to protect and promote the small investors. I have instructed the Capital Markets Authority and other relevant departments to work on developing framework that places investor protection, including the enhancement of the Investor Compensation Fund, investor education, and strict enforcement of compliance by market intermediaries as the center of a re-energized capital markets. We must remember that the golden years of our capital market activities were inaugurated by Safaricom initial public offer in 2008, which generated intense public interest, attracting millions of small investors and bringing Mama Mboga to the Security Exchange. The strong economic performance of those years and the affordability and availability of credit were dividends of this strong public confidence and robust participation in our capital markets.
He said that they look forward to many Kenyans buying, selling and growing their wealth using NSE. He also added that he looks forward to the time when a boda guy or a Mama Mboga will trade on their phone as he or she awaits for the next customer.
Again, I am saying we must work deliberately to equalize opportunities and democratize opportunities for wealth acquisition by making sure that we democratize opportunities for each and every one of us to get a slice of the cake.
Millicent Luamba, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.